Right. Good evening. Welcome to American Hammers TV. It is the night before Valentine's Day, 2020. I was just putting my 9-year-old to bed, and he was ranting about how much he hates Valentine's Day. And I thought this is truly my son, and I am so proud of him. He went on for probably like half an hour. So it's been a good evening for me so far. Anyway, we've got a large lineup of people with us tonight. Sorry we missed you last night. I had to go to my wife's sister's house, and didn't get home in time to do a show. So we're doing it on Thursday instead of Wednesday. I see Tebow is here. Tebow is ready. Tebow is always faithful. I told him we were going to be on because he was messaging me yesterday. He was like, "Why weren't you on last night?" I was like, okay, it's fine. We'll come on tonight. All right. So before we get started, very quickly, please check out our website. Tell me again what it is. AmericanHammers.net. Yes, AmericanHammers.net. It's got everything on it you could ever want, merchandise-wise. And if I can find the banner, I will put it up. But anyway, check out AmericanHammers.net for our shows, for merchandise, for those great scarves that you've probably seen in some photos banging around.
You can get a really cool tote bag.
Yes, look at that. That's so great. Is that the Casey Hammers logo?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think the printing on this tote bag in particular came out really nice.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
And also, we've got a flag for reals. Look at that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Brilliant. This stuff is so nice. I have to say that everything that's come from this supplier has been really nice. Sometimes you get stuff and it's like a paper thin T-shirt you put on, and I'm already like indecently exposing myself. But not this stuff. This stuff is nice. This is good. So anyway, check it out, and that would make Alex very happy, who does all this stuff for us. Anyway, so let's go around. So we have Chris, who is in Pennsylvania, Erie, isn't it?
Yes, Erie, Pennsylvania. Originally from Central Ohio. Actually heading back home tomorrow to see family.
That's wonderful. That sounds great. I hope you have a safe trip and you enjoy it back.
Yes, we're actually in the middle of a bit of a snowstorm.
Well, we had a couple inches overnight here, but it wasn't too big of a deal. So hopefully it won't be too big of a deal for you. Ray is up at 2 a.m. at his Coyote Ugly Bar in Liverpool. Wearing a nice
Valentine's night for me.
Yes, it's Valentine's Day for you, so you should be.
You guys are my Valentine's Day.
Well,
I'm sorry, man.
You should be putting out some Luther Vandross or some Marvin Gaye or something, and like go out and get one of those ladies off the bar and maybe like bring her back to the office and see what happens. So I don't know what you're doing here, but we appreciate you being here. Joss is with us from the home of the world championship.
Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback in the league.
And Kansas City, Missouri. Patrick Mahomes, the first quarterback from a Texas college program ever to win the Super Bowl, which is almost unbelievable to me, but it's true.
Well, that's really surprising, actually.
Very surprising. I know it is, but it's true. And of course, also in Kansas City, not a Chiefs fan, but nevertheless, still in Kansas City, is our friend PJ with all the cool swag behind her. So as we just were talking about before we started, West Ham may never play another match. It's hard to know at this point. We haven't played since the loss to Brighton, which I realized wasn't a loss, but it was a loss.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, and then we won't play again until I don't even know who we play next. I can't remember.
City.
Is that City game? Is the next one the makeup game?
I think the 19th.
Yeah, so it's a week from yesterday then.
Yeah, I did see something that Pep Guardiola is not happy about playing it on Wednesday either.
Good.
Kids.
I've got a ticket as well, so I'm going.
Are you going? Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's only Manchester's only 45 minutes down the road in the train, so
there you go. That's fantastic. I fear for what you'll see while you're there. Should probably come with like at least a PG-13 rating on it, because I'm not super confident about that game given our record with Manchester City. But you never know. Could be a surprise. And hopefully they'll be wrapped up in some other competition or not paying attention to us, or they'll do what Chelsea did and put out like a second team and lose. So,
well, yeah, that's actually something with the Man City game. I'm actually somewhat optimistic, because if you look at Man City's games, within the week after they play us, they go and play Leicester, and then they play Real Madrid in the Champions League. So they might be inclined to play a weaker side against us.
Actually, that's a good point. I mean, I wanted to bring some other stuff up, but you know what? It's only a week away. Let's talk about Man City. What do you guys think about in terms of starting 11? Do you think Bowen gets a start? Do you think he comes in as a sub? How long does he play? Surely he's not going to play 90 minutes, but you never know. Whom does he replace if he comes in at all? Why don't we go down to the bottom of the screen and why don't you start, PJ? Tell us what you think about the City game and who you'd like to see out there for us.
I don't know. I see Bowen coming on kind of later in the game. I kind of think they shouldn't play Blair because I don't know. He just hasn't been doing anything lately. He's just been kind of filling space.
He's just forced to go down so he can go somewhere else.
I guess. I don't even know.
Yeah, no, I'm totally convinced of it. I think I just puts. I know it's not a good system for him, but he puts out no effort at all.
Yeah,
he just, he doesn't. So, in fact, I'm going to try to find. There was a Hammers poll about this that I'm going to try to find. To me, this is one of those let's keep the goal differential reasonable type games.
Right.
Do you see it? Do you think we're going to be able to get anything else out of it with their fixture congestion and other things they seem to be worried about?
Well, I'm a little more optimistic than I was if we had played the original game. I was thinking that was just going to be a complete dumpster fire, and yeah. So, maybe like we're saying, maybe they'll play a lesser team against us, and we have a slightly better chance of not, sucking so badly.
I think that's the best hope we have, and either that or just an exceptional performance after a little winter break, and maybe everybody's healthy and Moyes has snapped them into shape somehow. Yeah. I don't know, but anyway, Joss, what's your take on City? You want to see Bowen? You want to see Aller? What do you want to see out there?
I want to see Bowen and Aller play together up top. Actually, Bowen has played as a second striker before.
Yeah,
so I think that him and Aller together is going to be interesting to watch. Also, I think on City's side, Raheem Sterling's out, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
Leroy Sané's out as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
Right. So I don't know what City's going to do. They might be forced to play.
They still have Riyad Mahrez.
They have Riyad. They'll probably play Mahrez and Bernardo. Probably Jesus, I'd guess. That'd be my guess up top because Aguero Champions League against
right.
He's their big guy. He's their big guy striker.
Yeah, and the thing is, they're not going to win the league. We all know that. Liverpool are going to win the league. That could happen within the next 2 or 3 weeks, I think. So they want to win Champions League. It's what they've sought out. It's what they've sought to do ever since the Abu Dhabi group bought the club. So I could legitimately see them just saying, you know what, whatever, we're going to put out 5, 6 sort of non-regular players against West Ham.
Yeah. I can see
and then maybe we can keep up with them. Yeah. I think it's a good point. I'm gonna pull up this Hammers poll here. I made a big mistake. I voted in this poll and I hit the wrong choice. Not that I love Aller, but coming up, there it is. So the question is, I can read it with my new glasses. I can read it. I think the question is from the team that started against Brighton, who drops out to make way for Bowen, assuming I guess Bowen starts. You have Antonio, Snodgrass, Noble, and Aller. I think probably the better answer is Noble, but at the time, either my thumb was fat or I was mad at Aller. I don't know. Anyway, I voted for the wrong. But I think it's got to be Noble, right? Doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
He just seems really tired, so hopefully this break he'll get some rest.
Yeah, no, he's tired. He's 30-something years old, So what is he, 32, something like that? And
34, I believe, I thought.
Is he? He's complained about how much he's played, which he's never done before, to my memory. I've never heard him say things like that before.
Oh, no, sorry. Mark Noble is 32. My bad.
32, okay. But, we know he's not going to give us 38 games a year. We realize that. So, Ray Force. What is your take on City? What is your take on Bowen and what you get there? So you have a vested interest in all this.
Yeah. So, I hate Liverpool so much, and they're going to win the league. I've had to buy for the club, so we have a giveaway, a Premiership title. So that hurt me even more.
You've had to do what now? So the
Premiership title.
Yeah.
I've had to buy a replica.
Oh no, really?
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, for your bar?
yeah.
Oh,
So I might just throw it at someone while playing.
here's your
Fuck
trophy.
you, take it.
Exactly. It's going to be brutal when they do finally win it. I agree. So what do you want to see on a week from yesterday in terms of
Right.
starting?
So,
Yeah.
I first of all, Tim, no, Bowen didn't give me any free tickets, the bastard. Even though I did buy a Bowen t-shirt today, so hopefully that'll be on its way to me now. But yeah, I want to see it. For me, it's a toss-up between Noble and Snodgrass.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I feel like they're playing a similar position.
Yeah.
And they can one could come on a sub later on. So, probably Noble by default, but if Snodgrass was dropped, I wouldn't be fussed if Noble was playing because he's had enough time to have a bit of a rest. So
But,
I would play Antonio. Sorry, go on.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, Snodgrass has been, I think, one of our better players.
He's been on a roll lately.
Yeah, he has been, but I like to see up front Antonio, Bowen, and Hilaire and see how they work because I know round about the 60th, 70th minute, Bowen's going to get taken off and Anderson's going to come on for the last section.
Oh, right, because he's supposed to be back, right?
Oh, have you guys seen that he's been training by himself, even though everybody else is off?
Yeah.
So, and I think having that option because if Antonio's run his ass solid as he normally does, then you can always take Antonio off and put Anderson on that way. Where if Snodgrass is playing really much, it means that Noble's going to be playing the whole 90 minutes again. Where you don't really want him to do that because we're going to have such a lot more games in a quick time. You want to sort of have Noble and Snodgrass swapping each time, and I think that would be a good center. Even Lanzini is going to have to pop in there at some point.
Oh, unfortunately, I guess
I don't want to hear his name. I don't even want to hear.
I was going to say I don't. You know what? That Chris, why don't we jump to you and because I'm with you on Lanzini. But what's your feeling on City? Who starts? Who doesn't? Who comes in? What would you like to see?
So for me, I definitely think Souček needs to start.
Yeah, I thought he was great against Brighton.
Yeah. He's been what we've needed for years.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a little bit different with Bowen. Souček was able to just slot right in and almost fulfill almost what seemed like a leadership role. Bowen has had time to come in and gel with the squad. I think he should and will be given a start. So I saw a stat today that Anderson, or not stat I shouldn't say, but Anderson, there is a 75% chance he's going to be good for the Man City game. Yarmolenko is a 50% chance.
Oh, I heard that name in a while. That's a name from the past there.
I think if Anderson is good to go, I would love to see a front three of Bowen, Antonio, Anderson. With
no.
I'm not keen on Allaire right now. Maybe coming off the bench, but in the second half as a replacement for Antonio. But he needs a kick in the ass because he has not been up to scratch.
I agree with you. I think he needs to lose his spot for a week or two, and we'll see if that lights a fire under him or not. I worry, in all honesty, that he regrets his choice and that he's just – I'm sure there's a clause in his contract, a relegation clause, and I'm sure he could leave if he wanted to leave after this.
He does have one clause. I remember researching it. It's not a relegation clause. What it is, though, is if a Champions League squad comes in for him, then they can activate it. So it's only directed to Champions League teams. But with his performance position, I don't think any Champions League team is going to come sniffing.
Well, unless it's, it'd have to be some, it'd have to be like the Swiss champions, like Basel or somebody,
Yeah.
You know how Champions League is such a. I mean, I don't know what he means, but I don't know what that means. Whether that means like final stage Champions League or like those group stages where there's like the champions from a lot of different clubs.
I think it was referring to more in January because.
Gotcha.
Any squad could come in for him in the summer window, relatively speaking. But for me as well, I think the midfield has to be for me personally, Snodgrass, Rice, and Souček.
I mean, so you're talking about a 4-3-3 basically.
Yes, I think that and that's one thing too. I think that Moyes needs to pick a formation and
Yes.
stick with it.
Stick with it.
I agree. I would love to see a 4-3-3. I do not think David Moyes will do that at Manchester City. I think his style is such that
Realistically, we'll probably go 5 at the back.
That's what I'm thinking too. And realistically, we'll probably have one up front, an obligatory striker, which never works for us, but he's a conservative manager. It's the type of game where he's probably going to try to limit the damage, but I'm kind of with you. I'd say why not just go for it? Last time we played him, first match of the season, we lost, 5-0? I mean, you okay?
Yeah. Drunk too much tea.
That's understood. No problem at all. Yeah, no, I would love to see. I think that'd be fantastic. I'm with you. I think Allaire needs some time to think, to sit and to worry about losing his spot. And I understand, Gary, I understand what you're saying. I do. I get this. I do. It's not just not having a partner up front. To me, it's a lack of effort. I see a lack of effort from him, and I see a lack of interest, really, as much as anything else. I don't know if you guys, if am I just being too judgmental? I mean,
no, absolutely not. I've kind of said that, or I think it's kind of almost a collective consensus at this point amongst West Ham fans that we're not playing to his system,
right?
But he's not helping himself.
No, I mean, we didn't play the Chicharito system either, and that was good for him, but he put out an effort. I mean, he was a professional, I thought anyway. And I just don't see that out of Allaire. He's a stroppy Frenchman, quite frankly.
We've been burned by the Frenchman before.
We have been burned by the Frenchman before, and I've known a few guys like him over the years. So yeah, he gets the strop. He gets to pouting, and he just gives up.
Arms everywhere, constantly on the ground.
Yeah. Well, there was one. I mean, I go back to the Brighton game because that's the last one I can go back to. And there was one moment, I think it was in the first half, when Souček made a run, and I think he shot over the goal, but he made a run. And, you look up the pitch, and Allaire's standing in the center circle. He's just hanging out there, not tracking back, but I mean, he's a striker. He's supposed to go up, go do something. And he's just hanging out, chilling, right around the center line. And it just, to me, was indicative of, kind of how he's been playing.
And for me, that's why I think Antonio has to start up front, because he's that kind of bastard player who can just get in behind everywhere. He's going to bully everyone out of there. And then you have Anderson out on the left with his pace and his creativity. So I think if Anderson is good to start or good to go, give him the start.
If he's healthy, sure, I can see that. Yeah, and Antonio to me is our talisman at the moment. We fell apart without him against Brighton, which was a shame because I did think he was tired, and I thought I didn't have a problem with him coming off, but I didn't realize it would dismantle the whole team.
Antonio, I think, but Antonio Allaire, Man City's center backs also, they aren't on the greatest of form right now, and I feel like we'll probably see a Stones-Otamendi partnership just because Laporte is so important to them, and we've seen how important Laporte is to them. And I think Pep realizes this and will play Laporte in the Leicester game and in the Real Madrid game. So Antonio and Allaire might be the type of duo to take advantage of just how weak their center backs are. Otamendi isn't great, neither is Stones. Stone, especially next to Otamendi, is probably their worst center back partnership. So I could see maybe Antonio Allaire sort of bullying them and taking control of that battle and winning the battles 99 times out of 10. It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that's good analysis, actually. And again, it goes back to what we were saying earlier about how, it seems unlikely they're going to put out their absolute best 11 in the situation they're in, which, again, Chelsea did that and we punished them. So it's not beyond the realm of possibility we could do it again, even though our record against Manchester City is not great. If they're not in the right frame of mind and if they're looking ahead of us and if they don't put out the strongest side they have, there's always a chance.
Yes, we've been luring them into a false sense of security all season.
The entire Premier League.
Exactly right. Now the hustling begins, right? We've been hustling them all season. Okay, so we've been hustling everybody all season. We're going to win out.
Oh, Lee's frozen.
Oh.
Lee?
He's hustling us. He's
There
hustling.
you go.
There he is.
We're gonna, I don't know what happened.
Thumbs up there.
We're gonna have a spectacular winning streak at
I
Carlos.
was using the Ray force on you.
I can't remember. I don't think I told that story while we were actually on, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I think that's before we started. Yeah, we're going to win every match from here on out. Carlos Sanchez is going to score, get a hat trick every game.
30 yards.
He's going to end up being the Golden Boot winner for the Premier League.
Oh, I'm here for that.
Yes, that's right. That's right. And mathematically, we're going to be able to pass Liverpool on the last day of the season. So,
The day Carlos Sanchez scores for our club, that's like in Revelations as calls for the
Oh my god, yeah.
it's like when the fire is coming out of the sky.
yeah, and he scores just a 40-yard banger. So
He scores
game over, dude. God is saying reset.
right at Judgment Day. Right. It's the sign of the apocalypse. Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah.
If Sanchez does get the winner against Manchester City, would that change your mind on him?
Oh, I'd buy a Sanchez jersey. I'd hang it up. I'd hang it up in all its glory.
Yeah, get commemorated, plaque and everything.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Buy a little piece of the pitch where he scored.
Planted.
The apocalypse could save us from relegation. Let's not forget.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, let's keep global warming up.
If you're on your way, get here before we go down. Okay.
Hey, that's your deadline.
That's all I ask. That's all I ask.
God.
Faithful servant. That's all I ask. Anyway.
Well, we'll all get the coronavirus, won't we?
Well, that's the other thing that will kill us all. The coronavirus will kill us all. So
I was going to make it when you started coughing up earlier. I was going to make a joke on that.
I'm sure.
yeah, it's going to be So, you can get into a Chinese restaurant around here. Like you can walk right in anytime you want because there's nobody there. I'm kind of not joking about this, by the way. There's nobody there, which seems kind of ridiculous. But anyway,
Wow.
So that's we'll see what happens with that. We'll be on again on several nights before that match happens.
And then I'm actually hosting the post-match live stream to that one.
Oh, right. That's awesome. That's great. Yeah, those are always good. Those are always fun. And Ray's going to be there. Hey, Ray, can you take some footage for us or get some reactions for us maybe?
Yeah, I'll try to do what I can. Depends how sober I am.
I mean, you got to have fun, right? Don't do it for us if you're not enjoying yourself. You know what I mean? But yeah, so if you do what you got to do as far as your
I
self.
was very drunk last time I was in the Olympic Stadium.
I was saying
Do about 10-second review or something with the boys. Hey!
you do what you got to do.
I mean, at times you kind of have to be drunk to be able to stand watching them. So.
I was going to say you're going to have to self-medicate in some way. With that. Because
Well, that's what I'm doing right now.
it's going to be pretty brutal. Hopefully not, but it seems likely. So if you guys don't mind, I wanted to shift gears a little bit here. I read today, and I'm sure everybody who's watching has read, that at the match at Anfield, which I guess is a week and a half away, is that right? The match at Anfield coming up right after Manchester City.
Oh, man.
I know. It's I mean, this would only be happened to West Ham.
Hard luck, man. Hard luck.
Well, this is when we're going to walk in and beat them and ruin their season. But
Can you imagine?
West Ham, the saviors of England.
hey, listen. You guys, Ray would remember Kenny Brown scoring the goal in 1992 that took the title away from Manchester United.
Yep.
And gave it to was it Leeds back then? I think it was Leeds. Anyway, or Blackburn maybe.
Black.
Yeah, I was going to say Blackburn.
It might have been Blackburn, yeah. Anyway, whatever year that was. Anyway, so it's happened before. But so apparently there's a plan. There's Liverpool supporters in Anfield, maybe even in the Kop. I'm not sure exactly where they're going to be. But they're going to hold a West Ham banner of some sort in exchange for West Ham fans donating food to the Liverpool food bank, which will then be stolen by the people of Liverpool before it ever gets to before it ever gets to anybody who needs it. But anyway, that's am I right, Ray? Is that right?
I'm too close to home for that to answer that.
I know I'm going to get you in trouble. Gary says it was Blackburn, so yeah, we'll go with Blackburn.
I'm not going to lie, but there was a landlord stabbed the other day in Liverpool, so I'm a bit worried.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah. I'm not even joking.
Oh no, I'm sure you're not. That's awful. And Neil, don't worry. We don't want anybody actually filming the match. I mean, we don't need that kind of carnage on our channel. But no, we were just thinking more like in the sense of
Goal reactions.
Reactions like a live reaction.
Carlos Sanchez
Right.
reaction.
Right when Carlos Sanchez hits that screamer to complete his hat trick.
Well, I'll be waiting.
Yeah, 1992. So this year I graduated high school. Anyway, so these Liverpool fans are going to hold a banner. We don't know what it's going to say. It seems probably like an anti-board type banner.
Yeah, it is. It is a golden GSB out kind of banner.
What do we think of this?
It is in the comp. It is in the comp.
It is at the top. Okay, so high-profile match, high-profile stand in the stadium, and the opposition fans are going to help us out, I guess, by holding up this banner in exchange for. Well, I mean, let me start with you again, PJ. We'll go around again. Just give me your thoughts. I don't even know what my thoughts are right now, but what do you think?
I mean, yeah, if they're going to have some kind of board out, some banner or flag, they're going to do it. And, we're going to, help out, food bank. Right on. I don't even know if it'll get shown on TV, even if, since Liverpool, all their games are always on TV. But I don't know. I think it would be interesting.
Do you think it's weird? I mean, do you think it's just weird to have like the home supporters do it? I guess it gets more attention that way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure I understand the message. I mean, I understand the message, but I'm not sure I understand why we're having them deliver the message. I'm not sure I get that. I mean, I don't know. You seem really like positive about it, which I'm not saying is wrong. I just don't. I just don't know how. I don't know how to put it. I don't know how to process.
I don't know. I guess it's just something that's different than what people have tried before. So, and nothing's really been helping much. So.
And I think Liverpool may have been in the same position not so long ago with their owners.
Oh, is that right? Did we do something like that for them?
I don't know if we did anything for them. I think they just remembered that they had really bad owners that were taking it, and it might have something to do with that. Not 100% sure on that though. Right.
That makes sense. Josh, do you have a thought about this?
I think first of all, it's a great cause. The food bank. And
yes, of course,
we're sort of helping each other out. And it's funny because I never thought I'd see the day where like West Ham fans and Liverpool fans would have this common, just sort of ground, this common enemy. And what is that message to the board is like, oh man, they are really unhappy. And everyone's going to see this, the media coverage, if there's a big banner in the COP, the year that Liverpool win the league.
Yeah.
And it says GSB out. That's the message that sends to the board is unreal. It's
pretty strong. That is true. It's pretty strong.
Yeah, it's genuine just contempt and genuine just dislike.
Could go sort of viral in the sense that, as you said, it's a high, Liverpool match is high profile just because of Liverpool this season. And it's the COP and it's Anfield. So I mean, yeah, Ray, you're there. You're in the heart of the, you're in the belly of the beast. What do you think about this?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to troll us and put something else up there instead.
Well, that's the rift, right?
To the West Ham fans,
right? Listen, I mean,
it's for your food.
Actually, no. To be fair, most of the Liverpool fans I do talk to, they come into the bar and all that kind of stuff, are very much tourists, and they do have a lot of love for West Ham. Because I think they remember us as the old West Ham at Upton Park, of the traditions and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of the people that work here are they feel for us because they know the kind of struggles that we go through. We're not. I've actually sat in the Liverpool end watching the game, and we lost 4-0, and it killed me. But everyone knew I was a West Ham fan because I weren't celebrating any of their goals. They were just being jokey and banter with me, and I was like, "All right, boys." One of them just stroked my head. I was like, "Fuck off! I'm not up for that. I'm not up for that right now." But yeah.
But we're not a threat to them, though, right? I mean, we're not
any threat to them. Like, I don't think any team's any threat to them at the moment, are they?
Well, not right now. But we've never really been a threat. We've beaten them at Anfield once in the last.
I know. Remember that season we beat them 3 times in one season?
Yeah.
That was nice.
Was
And
that
again, I think they appreciate us stopping Man United winning the title. I think it's twice we've stopped them winning the title as well.
I think you're right, and this Tebow I think has it right. I think it was Leeds in '92. That was the last year before the Premier League, and West Ham went down that season and missed the first season of the Premier League, and they came back up. And it was Blackburn in '95. And if I'm not, I know Kenny Brown scored the winning goal against Manchester United because I talked to him about it. We had him on the show, and I think West Ham stopped Manchester United winning the title both times. So
And Liverpool hate them.
And Liverpool hate him. And fans of a certain age would remember that, right? I mean, 90s not that long ago. But you'd have to, be in your 30s maybe to remember that. But I think you're right. The risk is that they troll us, Did you guys ever see the card stunt? If I could find the video, I'd show you. The Harvard-Yale is a big rivalry, of course, here among the snooty elites of New England. And I think it was the Yale students put on like Harvard booster shirts, and they went into the crowd at the game and they handed out these cards, like where you do the card trick like the North Koreans do,
Mm-hmm.
And they said, oh, this is like, we're going to say, go Harvard or whatever. And when everybody held the cards up, it said Harvard sucks. So, which it didn't like, it wasn't super clear, but it was clear enough that you got the idea. So they pulled a pretty good little prank there. And I wonder if Liverpool are going to do something like that to us too. But if they do, fair enough. I mean,
yeah, right.
We'll take our food back and they can starve. Chris, what do you think? What's your take? You have a thought on this?
So yeah, I mean, it's something so little for them to do. It's a little effort for them to put in, and West Ham fans are donating food to the food bank. So it's kind of mutually beneficial. And like Ray was saying, I think that they were in a similar situation, so they know what we're kind of going through, and so they want to kind of help out. And plus, we've never really been rivals or equals to Liverpool. I mean, they've always been head and shoulders above us. So, I mean, it's not going to affect them really. I mean, they wouldn't do it for Man City or Man United.
Right.
Can you imagine if like Spurs said they were going to do that for us?
Oh my Lord.
Nobody would believe it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think anybody would ask, right? I mean, but yeah, that would be that would send a message to the board. Man, that would send a message to the board.
Millwall does it? Oh.
Wait until next season. We'll get Millwall do it next season.
I was also going to say, we've also got other links with Liverpool as well, because Razor Ruddock used to play for him. Jamie Redknapp, whose dad's Harry Redknapp.
Right.
Julian Dix went there for a while.
Oh, that's right.
Stuart Downing. You say Stuart
Hey,
Downing?
you're missing one of the most important ones right now. Adrian.
Oh, my man.
Yeah.
He wasn't a great keeper, but I do miss him, especially with the situation we're in now, or we're in with Roberto and with Pat.
But
does Adrian play against us? I know we're skipping ahead to from Man City to Liverpool. Does Adrian play against us?
Ooh.
He might.
I mean, if Allison's set to go, I mean, he's
it would be awesome.
I hope Adrian plays against us and we get a bunch of corners because he was never all that great on set pieces.
There's a ball in behind. He will run out of his box. I guarantee it.
That's what
he can never stay in his box. Yeah.
No,
he needs like a bungee cord just so he could be pulled back to it when he starts running out.
I liked Adrian as somebody who loved West Ham, loved playing for West Ham, had a lot of spirit. I didn't think he was a very good keeper, to be honest. I mean, better than obviously any of our backups, but not. I don't think he's as good as Fabianski. But I mean, as far as a West Ham player, I always liked him for his, for how much he seemed to love the club. And you guys saw that he made a statement too. Did you see this? He had a quote that came out the other day about how he left West Ham because he had not played a Premier League match. He didn't play a Premier League match all season his last season, and he had a contract, but he was like not feeling appreciated financially. I think that's a reasonable way to feel.
Yeah, it sounded fair,
It did, and it made me sad only because of how we ended up after he left.
Right.
So much worse. One thing I'm wondering, as we talk about this board stuff and the Liverpool banner and so forth, do you think that the board really are starting to feel some sort of pressure because I keep reading Hammers United, which I think is a great group, and we support them. We've had Paul on the show before, and some various other groups that are bored out, which I am personally. I think most of us here are. We keep reading, the board are feeling the pressure, from the media. The press have started to really come out against him. Do you think they care? I can't decide. I mean, they got mad at Sky Sports for what might have been a slightly slanderous comment if taken the wrong way, which made them look even worse. But it's all speculation, of course. But do you guys think that they care anything about these protests and this press pressure and everything else? Joss, why don't we start with you? Since we haven't started with you yet. What do you think? Do you think it matters to them at all?
I think their public image definitely matters to them.
The David Sullivan, the pornographer.
Not true. Like
worried about his public image. But you may be right. I'm not saying you're not right.
Yeah, no. But like Birmingham, same thing happened when they were at Birmingham City. The club hated them, bro. Their fans hated them, and maybe they thought that this was sort of like their redemption shot. They really had these big goals, and the Olympic Stadium was going to be the best move that we've made, and we'll be playing Champions League in 5 years. And they've just got to be feeling it at this point. They got to be feeling how just angry we are that none of these promises have been upheld, and the way that
do you get any sense, Joss, and I'll ask everybody else this too, do you get any sense that they're actually disappointed in themselves? Like, do you think they take any responsibility at all for the disaster? I don't think they do. What do you, Joss, what do you think? We'll start with you. We'll go around.
Nah, they don't take any responsibility. I just feel like from what they've said, they're always looking to blame somebody else, blame just Sky Sports, blame the media.
Right. And all these managers we've gone through, and only Allardyce. Allardyce is the only one who didn't have to have a relegation battle, and he pulled us back out of the championship.
Right.
And I'm not saying we were great under Allardyce, but we weren't really threatened with going down. Everybody else has had to either been sacked or, had to pull us out of the fire. I don't know. Chris, what do you think?
So first of all, I don't think that they have any sense of responsibility or anything or accountability, but I'm going to say a little bit something different. I personally don't think that they feel any pressure, because if it were me, if I were feeling any pressure on it, I would shut up. I would avoid Twitter. I wouldn't touch anything. Instead, you have the likes of David Gold posting like the articles when they were threatening litigation against Sky Sports, liking tweets calling West Ham fans morons. Right. I mean, just stop. Just stop. Don't say anything at all. PR nightmare after PR nightmare. If they felt any pressure, if they do feel pressure, they have to fire their PR consultant firm, because they are failing in every aspect of it.
Oh, I doubt they even have one. There's no way a professional in communications is involved with that club in any way at all.
But I mean, I personally just don't think they do, because they're going about the same thing. I mean, you can always tell when David Gold is under some pressure. He just stops tweeting. He'll stop tweeting. He'll stop liking anything. Although I will say it's very weird when you're posting or retweeting pictures of your daughter in lingerie. Like that is just creepy.
That's weird. That's weird.
Creepy as hell.
Yeah, I was so Ray. What do you think? Do you see them?
Well, I think every villain thinks they're the hero, and I think that's what they think.
Very true.
That's so true.
That is the most accurate statement I've heard.
That's so true. I'm gonna get that tattooed on my body. Because that's very true. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they don't have a clue that they're the bad guys. I think they understand that we're not happy with them and all that kind of jazz.
Well, I hope so.
I think they still think that they are the heroes. They saved the club, and they're doing all this stuff behind the scenes that we don't know about, when in fact they're not really. They're just trying to keep everything together, so when they do sell up, they pocket a load of money. That's all it's going to be. Yeah. If you think about it, when they sell the club, if they bought the club for 100 million, they've invested. They spent 100 million between them.
Yeah. Bargain basement, because we were about to go into the next one.
Yeah, I understand, getting a cheap, but they're talking about reselling the club for like 500-600 mil.
That's insane. They'll never get that. Sorry, they'll never get that. We don't have a stadium.
Brady said that they wouldn't sell for under 800 million.
We don't
Yeah.
have anything. What are they? What are you buying? I mean,
Well,
years.
in a couple of years, we might get that stadium. I think when we do get a stadium, then that's a game changer.
It's a game changer for me too. I agree.
Yeah, and that's what they're holding on for. I think they're just going to hold on. Hopefully, they're going to still be in the Premiership. If we get relegated now, they probably don't see it as a bad thing because then they've got another 2 years to get or 3 years, sorry, to get back into the Premiership.
Right.
So they're going to save a load more money with all the fire sales that they're going to have and try and rebuild on the cheap.
Yeah, which is all they've ever done. I don't know, PJ. What do you think? Do you think they're taking responsibility? Do you think they're feeling pressure? Do you see signs that they're feeling pressure?
I don't think I could say it any better than Ray Force up there.
We can't start calling him that. We can't start calling him that. I can't do that. I can't cross the streams. Anyway. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
So,
I mean, it's pretty much the same. Like, I don't think they care, or they don't realize. I mean, they know that we're angry. Maybe they don't quite understand why. Like he says that, they think they're the villains that always think they're the hero, all that.
I think you're right. I think Ray's right. I think they think that they're somehow, somehow working.
I like it, Joss.
There we go.
Yeah, working for us. I can't see what is it.
What does it say on the bottom?
Every villain thinks
Every villain thinks
Yeah.
it's the banner they're gonna hold at the cop.
It should seriously be.
We get a banner for StreamYard on that.
I know how to do that. I would do it. Maybe somebody can do it for me. Well, maybe I can do it. Anyway, but that I think that's absolutely what I think. They somehow think that we're like. I feel as though they almost don't understand how much the fans hate them, and they think they're somehow still on our side. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even despite all these banners and T-shirts and everything else, like they banned Cameron.
Oh yeah, that was like the whole big story last week.
Yeah,
he's going to be on, by the way, on Sunday. He's going to be on Sunday 9:00 in the morning Eastern time. He's going to be on with us.
Nice.
So
is he going to wear the shirt?
I hope so.
If he doesn't, I'd almost be a little bit sad.
Yeah, no, we still wear the shirt. But that's such a tone deaf thing to do. I mean, because obviously he's representing an obviously large percentage of the fan base, probably the majority, and most likely the vast majority. I almost feel as though they did it. Wait, I didn't see what that was. All right, now I got to do it. Now I got to tell it. Now I got to tell everybody what that's about. Anyway, so there's this guy I work with. God, I hope he doesn't know about this. Now that I think about it.
Hello.
I hope he never sees this. Anyway, his name is Ray, and at some point, somebody initiated the phrase "Ray, the Force be with you," from Star Wars, like "May the Force be with you." And now he has taken to calling himself Ray Force. And he's the biggest douche. He just is. He's just like the worst guy. Really hope he doesn't watch this. And it's every time we're on a conference call, people will say "Oh, who's there? Ray Force, Ray Force." Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, bro.
That won't get annoying very quick, will it?
So brutal. So I cannot call Ray. I can't call you Ray Force because I can't. I can't do. I can't cross the streams with that guy. So anyway, yeah, I don't want to do it. But yeah, I think you're right. I feel as though the board somehow feel as though like they're walking up next to us, like, "Hey, how's it going, guys? What's going on?" And we're like, "You're the problem. You are the problem. All right. I don't know why you think you're friends with us, or because we hate you. We hate you. Not some mystical thing out there that's destroying West Ham. You're destroying West Ham. Yeah, you're banning Cameron. Terrible move. The way they let transfer rumors leak all the time. Terrible communication strategy. Going after Sky Sports. Terrible move. Tone deaf. Makes them look worse. Everything they do makes them look worse.
I think what is even worse about that is that they published an article on the West Ham page and tweeted it out, thinking that, yes, we got him. We did.
Exactly. As if we were going to support that as supporters, as if the fans were going to say, "Hey, way to go, guys!"
Question: do you guys know what ratioing is on Twitter?
I do not, but I'd like to know.
So ratioing is.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, is when a massive amount of people disagree with a tweet. The way you can tell is if there's more comments than there are likes or retweets.
Oh, interesting.
That post by David Gold had like 148 likes, 1,300 comments.
Wow.
13
ratio.
comments?
1,300 comments. You can look like it's. Let me look up the exact mark now. Let me get back to
That's interesting. I'm glad I know what that is now.
Yeah.
I do get paid to do marketing, so I should probably know what that is. So, another thing I've learned during the show. Again, I mean, I do. I feel as though they think that we're all on the same side, and we are very much not on the same side. I don't have a lot planned for like the last 15 minutes of the show. What I wanted to do tonight, before we got into more current stuff, was I was hoping we could have a little bit of fun, and because we haven't had a game for a while, don't have another for a week.
It's hard to have fun with anything West Ham. Right?
I know. That's what I was thinking, and I was thinking maybe we could just go around and talk about like favorite all-time West Ham player, favorite moment, or favorite game, and that's probably two good ones right there. Like favorite all-time West Ham player, favorite West Ham game / moment. I know I haven't given you any time to think about this. I apologize. But Ray, you're the elder statesman in terms of going to matches. You want to start for us?
Yeah, sure. It was my first game, to be honest, and that's because I was 11 years old. It was against Wrexham in the FA Cup. We drawed 1-1. I was a little kid. It was the stadium was up to park, and it was all standing, so there was no seats.
Yeah.
I was little enough to squeeze through everyone because we was like halfway up and I couldn't see bugger all. So I managed to squeeze all the way down to the front. And then like I was leaning over the side, jumping up. I said to the steward, can I sit on the side? And he went, if you move, you'll be back over. And I was like, oh, good, I'm going to sit. So they let me sit on there and I was like literally not far from the goal. I've been trying to look at the highlights to see if you can still see me on there. But the quality is not great. And that's when you had the chicken run just at the top. And I remember sitting out on the left-hand side and all the West Ham fans were cheering. And you always hear stories about people from the chicken run. And it was glamorized and all the ICF fighters and all that kind of stuff. So, I was a little kid looking out going,
now, when was this? What year was this?
I Googled it not so long ago. Well, if I was 11, it would have been 91-ish.
Okay. Yeah. So you're Tim's age just about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the times I wish I could have seen. My biggest regret is basically being born American and not having had the experience of, and I did go to the Bowl-In, but in the 10 years ago actually, but I missed not having the experience of standing on the terraces, having the proper full football experience. That's just something I'll never have. So yeah, that's a big regret. So who's your favorite player of all time? Or, 2 or 3. It doesn't matter.
Well, when I was a kid, I always liked Cotty because I always loved scoring because I love being greedy in that.
Yeah.
So he was always my favourite. And then, as I was getting older, it was always going to be Joe Cole because, he was a flair player, and it was just so good. It was just everything he was doing. It was touching. But then I used to love, all random players. So, I used to love Ian Bishop, and I used to love...
Yeah, we had him on the show. You were with us. We had him on the show. Yeah.
Yeah. Who else? Alvin Martin, because there was one game that he was just it's so hard, and he was just bleeding from the head, but he was just wearing this white banner, just blood mark there. He's just still coming on, just edging the ball. It's just come on. It's a workhorse kind of mentality, isn't it? So yeah, I used to love players that would actually put a shift in.
Yeah, you'll never see that either. Again, either a guy with blood streaming down his face continuing to play. Those days are gone too. Well, we know what this Tim's here.
He's back.
I was going to say something. If you guys we got to mention.
Everybody take one. Yeah, take one. What about you, PJ? How about you? What's your favorite moment? Favorite?
Well, okay, so I started following West Ham mid-season 2015, or well, between seasons, in like the summer. So I'm watching it, I'm getting into it, and then like around the first of the year, I decide like, hey, I need to get out there and go to the Bowling Ground before it's gone, you know. But
Yes.
like, you know, being the last season, like I'm like, how the hell am I going to get a ticket, you know, like. So I, you know, then they announced the testimonial. So I was like, oh shit, I gotta go. So like, I actually went to the testimonial, and now we did a stadium tour and all that, and just watching the game was awesome. I mean, I know it's like a totally different experience than a Premier League game, you know, because you know competition. You know, there was no away fans, obviously, and
Sure.
Adrian scoring his own goal over there, that was hilarious. And was it Sacco that took a selfie?
Yes.
It was just amazing.
That was a great event and a great way to, you know, sort of close the ground before the actual final match. Do you have a favorite player?
Well, since I've been following, I still say Noble. I know a lot of people give him a hard time, but he's my guy.
He's Mr. West Ham. He's still Mr. West Ham.
Yeah.
You can't fault his effort. How about you, Joss? What's your favorites? And if, by the way, if you're in the chat room, chime in. Although I'm having trouble pulling these things up for some reason. So, but anyway, chime in the chat room. You guys can talk about it there too. What do you think, Joss?
So my favorite West Ham moment was I haven't been to a game yet. That's my goal. Study abroad over there while I'm in university and go to a game. That's my goal.
Awesome. Do it.
My favorite moment is going to. I mean, I have to say the last game at the Bowling, right? Like,
yeah, of course.
And when you're talking about favorite players, I actually one of them was it's Winston Reed.
Sure.
Oh wow.
I'm a center back. I grew up playing center back, and I just loved watching him that 16-17 season. He was unreal. I don't think he gets enough credit for how good he was.
Yeah. He
was our anchor. He was our rock. But he's one of my favorites, my all-time favorite, because I didn't start watching West Ham until my freshman year of high school, which was 2015-16. Dimitri Payet. I have to.
Of course.
I can't deny he's amazing, but still, a douche.
He still is. He's still very good. And I just got in so many debates. Like, I'm friends with like Liverpool fans and like City fans. And that year, I said, Dimitri Payet, he's better than your players. He's better than Felipe Coutinho. He's had a better season than Kevin De Bruyne. He has been unreal. And really, he could have won Player of the Year if Leicester didn't have their Leicester season.
That's true.
You know,
that's a good point.
He was a one-man team. He put it all on. He put like the team on his back at some points. And in the 16-17 season too, like his goal against Middlesbrough, or his Rabona cross to Antonio against Watford. Just he made everyone around him better, and he made the fans just get on their feet, and he gave him that little extra flair that we've missed since he's left.
You're totally right, and Joss, I've seen so many videos pop up on Twitter of the last couple of months when we've had these difficult times with the club. Mm-hmm. Payet free kicks, Payet goals. Everybody misses him. I still feel as though his departure left a massive hole in the club that we've never told.
Poor Noble. They had such a bromance,
I know.
Been devastated.
It left a massive hole in the club we've never totally filled. And I think, I think if we'd been able to keep him and keep him in form, I think that people wouldn't like the Olympic Stadium, but they wouldn't hate it as much as they do. Because I think it'd be winning, and winning solves a lot of problems.
Right.
You hear people say things like, the seats are kind of far from the pitch, but if you're finishing top 6, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
A lot of the anger comes from just the fact that we tanked. And
who knows? I mean, had Dimitri Payet not left, it's possible Slaven Bilic might not have been sacked.
Yeah.
Very possible. In fact, I think it's likely. He might
have still been our manager to this day.
I saw a tweet and it said, what are 2 players from the club you support that you wish had played together that didn't? Dimitri Payet and Marko Arnautovic, man.
Oh man.
Can you imagine?
That would have been devastating.
That's top 4. That's top 4.
Yeah, there ain't no doubt about that.
The way that they treated our club sucks, but I have an Arnautovic jersey as well. I have a Payet one.
I have an Arnautovic. I still wear it.
I love the guy.
No, I wear it.
Watching him play was so good.
I have an Arnautovic. I still wear it. Nobody around here knows what it is anyway. But
right, true.
But yeah, no, I feel the same way. I mean, that would have been amazing. We'd have actually had a positive goal differential for the first time in
Yeah.
in years.
What about you, Chris? What about your moment and your player?
So I'm the third person here that my first season supporting was the 2015-2016 season, final season at the Bolin. I fell in love through vlogs from FIFA YouTubers. That's how I got exposure, and that's how I've always seen the Bolin through those cameras.
Yeah.
I still want to get over there. I still need to. I'm hoping to possibly try and go next fall because I probably can't swing it this year.
Yeah.
But for me, I think my favorite moment was that Winston Reed goal, the final match of Bolin, because I was watching it downstairs in my living room, the big TV. I left work early that day to catch the match.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
And I started running around my house. My parents had no idea what the hell was going on. And as far as favorite players, it's a toss-up between Pyatt and Noble. And as much as I hate it, and I have a Pyatt jersey. It's the only player jersey, or the only jerseys that I've ever gotten with player name on it. And what was worse about that is I waited until after August of 2016 before buying it with his name on it because I thought he was off in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's funny is that Pyatt season, I bought a shirt for a close friend of mine, a Pyatt shirt for him because he used to live in France. He lived there for quite a lot longer than I did. He's a French citizen, actually, even though he's not from France. So I bought him a Pyatt shirt. I bought myself a Lanzini, and I thought for a long time I made the much better choice, but no, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, no kidding.
No, I'm like, it doesn't seem so great either. I think, and by the way, welcome to, I just totally missed his name and now he scrolled off the screen anyway. Richard from Detroit. Richard. Yeah, Richard from Detroit. Thank you for watching and welcome. And I want to say before I talk about players and moments, if you are watching and you want to be on our show, you want to be interviewed, you want to co-host, you want to do anything, you want to be on the network, on the channel, just let us know. Get in touch with us. Come to our website. I think you can get in touch with us through the website at AmericanHammers.net. You can get to us on Twitter. You can get to us on Facebook. Send us a DM, whatever. Tim responds. I respond sometimes. He responds more often than I do. But if you want to be on the show in any capacity, we'd love to have you. And please let us know. And we'll be happy to schedule you and get you on. And that's whether you're in anywhere in the world, anywhere. We can do stuff all times a day. So we have people all over the world who can help us. So, yeah, let us know. So I mean, for me, the obviously the moment that stands out was when I actually got to go to the Bolin, which was 10 years ago, almost to the day. And West Ham played Birmingham City, won 2-0. Alessandro Diamanti scored a fantastic free kick right before halftime. And then the legend Carlton Cole scored in the second half. So, one of my favorite players of all time. Night out at the Bolin and at the Bolin pub, I should say, and then over to the ground for the game. It was a weeknight. It was snowing. It was magnificent game. Which someday I'll just do an episode on it where we're just talking about the experience. Nobody will watch, but it'll make me happy. But the one moment that always sticks out for me, the goal in the playoff final, Vastey's goal was obviously massive. The one moment I kind of love the most irrationally was just Adrian's penalty against Everton in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
And when was that? 2013, 14? I don't remember what it was.
I think 14, 15.
That's pretty epic. And he tried to recreate it at the testimonial.
He stops the penalty and then he steps up to take and it was like 11-10. I mean, the final, we won something like 11 penalties to 10 or some ridiculous 12-11, something like that. He steps up and he just takes off the gloves and drops them.
He's like, I'm done with this.
I don't need these. I'm done with this. And he slots it home. And I'm telling you, I think I was watching. I was working at home back then, and I was watching online, and it was just like, it's just the one that always gets to the heartstrings a little bit. You know what I mean? Because, and I know we didn't win any trophies that season. I think we lost in the next round, but that one moment. After such a long and difficult match, Carlton Cole had scored to equalize in extra time, and there was all this drama, and this penalty shootout that went on for it seemed like about 3 hours, and then you just nailed that penalty after dropping the gloves. I just, I'll always remember it. Here we go. Here's James. James, your buddy of yours is on, Ray.
Well, he should be at work upstairs. Like,
I see.
you cheeky bugger, get off your phone. Looking after the customers, kick them out.
Just got
out. You're slacking. Boss man says you're slacking. You gotta get.
Shouldn't be on his phone, cheeky bugger.
Purple. That's true. I forgot about that. We were in the purple kit that night too. And I love purple. And the purple. I love the purple. Even though I don't have one, I love the purple kit. James thinks that's pretty damn funny. You're gonna have to like. You're gonna have to March 1974. I'm not sure what that refers to.
Security, get back to work, please. Security, get back to work.
But you guys know who my favorite West Ham player of all time is. It's Scott Parker. It's unapologetically it's Scott Parker because I love him. I know he went to Spurs. So did Martin Peters. Bobby Moore tried to go to Spurs twice. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I love Scott Parker. I always will. I want to be West Ham manager someday. And I still look out for Fulham's results because he's the manager there. And he always gave it everything he had. He was a fantastic player. And to me, he's just, he's like a better, a more talented version of Mark Noble. Mark Noble who could actually play a little better. I'll always love him. I don't care I don't care about anything else. I'll always love him. But yeah,
I just see Charlie's message.
I was gonna say Charlie's on. So
it's my night off, Charlie. I'm allowed one night off a week.
The whole late night comes on. I can't. Now my messages aren't popping up. I don't know if you get. Oh, here it comes. How is Rachel like people to work? My man is literally in his office. Hey, when you're the boss, Charlie.
That's very fair. That's very fair.
It's what you do. You just sit in the office and tell everybody else what to do. All right. So, yeah. And you know what, Ash? Listen, I get it. We all do.
I hate Jay, by the way.
Hello.
Oh, yes.
Welcome. You're going to be in even more trouble now.
I've got loads of stories on Jay. Do you want me to tell them? Oh, right.
You might as well tell one.
Do you believe in Moyes or not?
No.
Wait a minute. I need subtitles. Are you a Liverpool?
He said, do you believe in Moyes?
Oh, do I believe in Moyes? Okay.
In a Scouse accent.
I do believe in him, but I'm not sure he's.
Jay, stop robbing my pockets, you scouser.
Hey, check for your watch after this. Check for your watch. Your phone. Check for your phone. Yeah. Check for your phone. Yeah, you got one behind you.
Ray took me to the Everton West Ham game when Everton were home. Oh, and I was sat with all the West Ham fans, right? And they were hailing abuse at the Scousers, and I had to sit there in silence.
I was hurling abuse as well. I was pointing at him as well. You Scouse.
Well, I seen you talking about Adrian's penalty against Everton there as well.
It was good a penny.
Sorry. Yeah, I love that moment. It's a great moment.
I was about to log out, but I thought I'll give him a chance.
All right. Thank you.
Where's your phone?
Thank you, James. Charlie has shown his preference. Later on, James will do a few bars of Yellow Submarine or some other because he sounds like Paul McCartney. He'll give us a little show because that's. I really didn't understand about the first 10 words he said, though. That much.
Yeah, I didn't either, to be fair.
It took me 6 months.
Some guy who doesn't speak English has come up behind you, so be careful. I don't know what that.
Yeah, behind you.
Yeah. So anyway, that's. I don't really know what else to say unless you guys. I already told the Ray Force story, so we already wasted that part too.
What do you guys think? If we stay up, do we get rid of Moyes at the end of the season? Do you think the board will? And what would you prefer?
You guys jump in. I'll let you go.
I don't know.
Bro, that's all I want. I want Niko Kovac to come in.
I
Niko Kovac, Jesse Marsh. Those are my managers I want. So if we stay up, I don't think the board will sack Moyes. I just feel like it'd be too expensive. But the managers I want are Niko Kovac or Jesse Marsh from Salzburg.
I don't disagree. I would love Kovac, but I don't know because I mean that would be a bridge totally obliterated after moving on after 6 months twice.
True.
So
why would we sack Moyes if we stay up? I can see us sacking him if we go down. Why would we sack him if we stay up? I'm not sure about that.
Well, I mean, we sacked him and he kept us up last time, so it's.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's true.
we only
Even the precedent we set last time, that's a valid point.
But to be fair, though, I mean, we didn't sign him to an 18-month contract. We signed him to a 6-month contract with an option to extend a year. So
That's true.
Is that true? Because I thought it was. I thought he wanted the 18 months.
This time around, it's an 18-month contract.
Okay. So
When he kept us up a few seasons back, it was a 6-month contract signed with an option for the board to extend a year, but we got Pellegrini, so it's 5 years.
You know what's funny, Ray, is I said when Moyes kept us up a couple of seasons ago, I thought he should have had his contract extended. I don't love him, but I thought he kept us up and he was we were playing reasonably well, and I didn't see any reason to sort of derail the momentum that he had built. I'm not saying that he's somebody who, is going to be Alex Ferguson and build the club into a worldwide phenomenon, but I thought he would have been fine for another season. I think we should have kept him.
And I also kind of think it'll depend on the owner situation. If they were to sell in the summer, I don't see the new owners retaining Moyes.
I don't either.
I
don't either. No, I think a new owner is going to clean out altogether.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Red
I
Bull
think he
Riders.
needs to.
It depends on
He
it.
only needs to clear out one scout, probably 2 training people. There's not much of a clear out.
True.
Yeah, I mean there isn't. I mean we're bare bones structure as it is. I mean you remove too much, we're all going to collapse in on it.
Well, yeah, we're gonna get when Rush Green gets taken away by a tornado.
Tornado,
I don't
a
know.
strong gust of wind at
Exactly. Like a gentle summer breeze could lift it right up.
It was really bad over it.
Do what?
It was the wind was really bad over it.
Has anyone checked on Rush Green recently?
See if it's landed in
You can actually see. I saw this going a little somewhat viral amongst West Ham circles on Twitter. The academy training ground for Manchester United is better quality than our first teams.
Of course. There are – listen, I guarantee you, I promise you, because I've seen them, I've been to them. There are high school football training facilities in Texas that are far better than what the pictures of Rush Green look like anyway. I haven't been to Rush Green, but the photos
I remember seeing an article, too, that the reason it's the quality that it is because of Village, because he almost he supposedly almost begged Karen Brady not to turn it into a hotel because players were there to train and not
yeah, he wanted it to be for tough guys and not cushy. You know what, though?
But if your guys are getting hurt during training, that's not helping anybody.
It's not helping anybody. And we have so many injury problems anyway. Maybe the staff and
And look at Rafa Benitez. When he was at Liverpool, he installed beds into the training facilities so people can have rest. So they train more.
I mean, look, the fact is the modern athlete needs a modern facility. And if that's considered a luxury, then so be it. Man, you guys walk into a college football and here in the U.S. walk into a college football dressing room. Good God! I mean,
I'm an Ohio State fan. We're the most profitable, most valuable college football team in the country.
yes.
It is nuts.
I mean, it's again. I mean, the Texas high school football facilities. There are probably hundreds of them that are better than Rush Green, and I'm not exaggerating. I mean, it just. It's an absolute embarrassment. And
for me, like I think with the training facilities, if you want the best players, if you want the best performance from even half decent players, you've got to give them everything. You've got to give them all the tools. It's like being a plumber and not having a spanner. You're not going to be able to do your job, are you?
And how are we supposed to recruit players? How are we supposed to recruit? I mean, we don't have Champions League. We don't have Europa League. We have one of the worst ownership groups in global football, probably, at least at a high level. How are we supposed to recruit players when we tour them around Rush Green and say, here's your training in? That's ridiculous.
Take them to Rush Green. You show them the biggest screens in Europe. That's all you need.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing: when they tour the Olympic Stadium, if they tour it, if they don't go on the pitch, if they stand in the stands, they can't see the pitch they'll be playing on.
Right.
So that's not a very good tour. And then you take them to Rush Green to the porta cabins, and it's not very impressive. The stadium, I'm sure, is impressive, when it's full and so forth. But they spend a lot more time at the training ground than they do at the stadium.
Honestly, I think the only real attractive – there's two big attractions still bringing players to West Ham. It being in London and the Premier League.
Yep.
I agree. 100%.
If they can succeed at West Ham, they could potentially be Liverpool or Man United or City can come in for them so they can go on to have a better career. So I think that's why a lot of players do eventually come here, even though they could be much, much better. One of the most convincing things with like X and Dave Walker's podcast is that West Ham should be one of the most attractive places to come, with it being in London, with it being up and up. But it's because of the ownership that it's not that way.
Also, another question. Is it appealing for a financial person to come in and take us over because he can then put a stamp on our training pitches and all that kind of stuff? Would it give him something to put into, or would you rather that already be in place before you invested into the business?
I would think if you're going to spend $500 million or pounds, £500 million plus on a business, you'd want something more than nice kits and a few.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, right now we have nothing to sell. We don't have any assets. We have
That's it.
Gigantic fan base. Okay, that's big. That's a big deal. That is. We have 60,000 season ticket holders. That's not a small thing. A pretty good worldwide following, as we see here. That's not a small thing. But we have no assets. I mean, we have whatever players are with the club. Other than that, it's literally like, balls and kits and gold nets. I mean, that's it.
I mean, we don't own a stadium.
Right. And our training ground is garbage. I just can't imagine why any business person with any acumen at all would look at us and say, "Oh yeah, that's a £500 million worth of football club."
I'll say this: some rumors I've seen on Twitter. Obviously, they're just rumors, and they could have some truth. They could have absolutely zero. I've seen 3 different potential inquiries potentially. I've seen the Red Bull links, which those have existed forever.
Yeah, it's never going to happen.
Yeah, and then the next one I've seen is the Saudi group that's trying to take over Newcastle.
Right.
Apparently, they've hit some sort of snag, and they might be turning to look at West Ham.
As if it's going to be any better here.
We're in London.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
And then the other one besides Gold, Sullivan, Brady, there is a minority shareholder that is an American. He holds about 10% of the board.
Trip Smith, yeah.
Yeah, and apparently he's been I've seen some reports that he's been trying to find potential investors to invest with him to take over the club.
Yeah, John Black mentioned that on Sunday night, or whatever night it was we did the show last. I did the show last. John talked about that. I mean, that'd be fantastic. Obviously, anybody buying the club, generally speaking, would be an improvement over Gold Sullivan.
It'd be hard to be worse than the current ownership.
Hard to be worse. Not impossible, but hard. But I don't understand the valuation of the club without a stadium, without owning the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we really don't have. We just have loyal fans and whichever players are on the roster, and that's it. I mean, that's kind of it. There's really nothing else. A training facility that's worth very little, that has very little on it. a stadium we don't own, a lease to a stadium. I mean, I don't know.
I think it's the potential right now. We have the basis of a training ground. We have the basis of a stadium that has room to grow and to be built up to what we expect. So if any investor were to come in, they would have to understand that this is a project they'd have to build upon. It's not going to give them instant return on their investment.
Which is why I don't see somebody spending £500 million pounds. I just don't. I mean, whether Gold, Silver, and Brady bought the club for, what'd you say, Ray? 100 million?
Yeah, I was going to say they bought it for 100 mil and they want to sell it for 500 mil. So is it a case of them pricing themselves out in the market?
Oh, I think
Yes.
Yeah. And with that, when we do get a stadium in 3 years' time or wherever we do, the government just give it to us. Does that mean they're going to place it in the billion market because they got the stadium?
Ask yourself this: have we quintupled our value in 10 years?
So I just looked it up. According to Forbes, Forbes.com, West Ham United are worth, like, the team, its market value is $616 million.
Okay.
Wow.
Where does that, I mean, so that's the purchase, that would be what the purchase price would be potentially?
That would be like if you were going to sell like West Ham at like a Walmart or something like that, it'd be $616 million.
I genuinely don't know where that comes from. I don't. So I don't want to.
Here, let me pull it back up.
No. I mean, I believe you. Chris.
Yeah, no. I know, but I'll read you what they.
He said it was in player assets. So with all the players that we've got and their value, that's what it comes to.
So the revenue is $236 million, 175 million pounds. Operating income of 37 million pounds. Broadcasting, $399 million.
Which only plays if we stay up. The broadcast.
Yeah. Match day, $83 million. Commercial, $91 million. 10% debt. And this this has been calculated May 2019, and in pounds, $660 million is 478 million pounds.
Yeah, I thank you for looking that up. I appreciate it. Please forgive me if I call bullshit on that, because I do.
Oh, yeah, I don't disagree with you.
No, and I know you don't.
Yeah.
Ash makes a good point here. I mean, really, seriously, the New York Knicks. Oh man, that is a train wreck of a franchise. If you guys don't follow basketball, and you shouldn't, but it's an absolute train wreck of a franchise. Like, really makes West Ham sort of look like Real Madrid. But yeah, I cannot imagine that we have quintupled our value in 10 years. Based on what? I really don't know. I have no idea. But I'm not an expert. Charlie asked the question: is it better to buy a championship club because you get it cheaper? Maybe, but the QPR owner. I thought Bernie Ecclestone bought QPR. Does he not still own QPR? Anyway,
No, they sold it.
They sold it. Okay.
Yeah, there's actually a good thing on Amazon Prime, I think it was, about QPR and their new owners. That was a while ago.
Yeah, the 5-year plan or 4-year plan or something like
That's
that.
it,
Yeah. Tim keeps telling me to watch that, which I haven't. Now, okay, John is on. He says Tony Fernandez owns QPR. So he was the one who almost bought us, if you remember. He wanted to buy West Ham. He's a West Ham fan, apparently. And Gold, Sullivan, Brady, pulled the rug out from under him somehow. So,
also, as a random note, looking through this Forbes article more, apparently in 2018 they valued West Ham at over $750 million US.
So it's shrinking.
It was almost a 20% decrease in value from last season to what we are now.
Yeah, I mean,
that is as of actually May 2019, so it's probably even more.
Yeah,
probably dipped even more.
Oh, yeah. Year.
Before the move to the Olympic Stadium, we jumped according to Forbes, we jumped from a market valuation of $309 million to $542 million.
Yeah, again, I mean, I don't want to argue with experts, but man, I have a hard time believing that. just a real hard time believing that. Hard time believing anybody would actually put up the kind of money. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
That may be the valuation, but would somebody actually write that check? I don't think so.
Very good question.
But I'd like for somebody to, but I don't think so. Anyway, we've picked up quite a bit in the chat room, and we've had a good discussion. Unfortunately, I think we should probably go. As always, have to make lunches for the boys. I have to get ready to go to bed. Have a big day tomorrow. And
I'm going to watch some Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
That's such a good show.
That's a great show.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch some Marvel movies. So.
Oh, nice. Good choice.
I have been watching The Crown because
Love it.
Yeah, it's actually really good. I didn't think I'd like
big
it.
history buff, so I love it.
I have to. You know what, Chris? I do too. I have to say it's really good. It makes
If you like history, like shows in general, there's also a limited series at the moment. At least it's season 1. I don't know if it's going to keep going or not. There's an 8-episode season of the Ottomans taking Constantinople.
Really?
Yes.
That's cool.
Very good.
And putting footstools everywhere.
Yep.
So Jerry Seinfeld said it's an empire based on putting your feet up. Yeah, that's cool. That is cool. Yeah, we've been watching The Crown. We always watch Schitt's Creek. That's a great show, Canadian show. If you haven't seen it, Schitt's Creek is great. There's a few others like that, but tonight it's all about the lunches, and then next. It's Thursday. We don't do Friday Night Likes right now because I think John is still occupied. If Tim's on, he'll tell me who's going to be on next. But Sunday, you guys look out on Sunday. Let me look this up real quick and I'll tell you.
It's going to be a good one.
We have some stuff coming up on Sunday, and I've got to find the right message here that it's all in. I know Cameron is going to be with us on Sunday. Cameron is going to be with us on Sunday, I think at 9 a.m. Eastern time, which is, what is that? 2 o'clock in the afternoon? 2 o'clock in the afternoon, right? 2 o'clock in the afternoon in England. So look out for Cameron. And then we have another show. Oh, we have Graham from Music Mother Brown at 2 Eastern.
Oh,
that's
wow.
7. That is on Sunday. So Steve and Costi are interviewing Cameron at 9 a.m. on Sunday Eastern. So that's 6 a.m. on the West Coast. So you guys maybe maybe just watch it in the archive. Sunday at 2 Eastern is Graham from Music Mother Brown, and he's a good guy. Tim went and met with him over the when he was in England, and we've got some stuff going with him. So yeah, check that out. I want to see the Graham thing. I am of course going to be teaching Sunday school 9 o'clock on Sunday morning. It's actually true. So I won't be there, but I'll watch it on the archive. I want to see what Graham has to say, and then we'll see what we'll see what Cameron has to say and what Graham has to say. Anyway, I'm getting punchy. Chris and Ray Force and Joss and Casey. Every villain thinks they're a hero. Yes. Joss in the home of the Kansas City Chiefs, and PJ also in Kansas City, but not in the same room as Joss. At least as far as I know.
Yeah, that'd be kind of weird.
That'd be kind of weird. Yeah, that'd be kind of weird. And everybody in the chat room. I mean, Charlie and Richard, who joined us tonight for the first time. James for coming in and stealing Ray's phone out of his pocket during the show. All the people with us. Thank you so much for being with us. I thought tonight would be a real struggle. It turned out to be a whole lot of fun. Tebow, you too. I don't know if you're still there, but all you guys in the chat room, thanks for being.
All big Jords.
Oh, that's his thing. No, that's Charlie's thing. Is getting Hugo back. Yeah.
Right. No one else wants him back, just Charlie.
Just Charlie.
You're the beans.
All I want.
Anyway, you guys keep chatting if you want to. I gotta go, but let's come on, you Irons.
Come on, you guys.
May the force be with you.